What is up, you guys? Welcome to the Growth Space. My name is Kiara, but you could go ahead and call me Key for short. I'm 25 years old, and on this channel, we talk everything personal development and growth. Although, of course, everybody is welcome, I did specifically make this channel for the younger women who are coming up after me, the ones who are stepping into adulthood and know that they want to live their 20s with meaning and with purpose. This is for the young women who want to get to their mid-20s or even their 30s and look back on their 20s and feel proud and happy of how they lived their life and the things that they have accomplished, as opposed to feeling regretful, resentful, and sad, which is what we're seeing a lot today. So I'm not saying I have it all figured out. I have made a lot of mistakes. I have learned from those mistakes, and hopefully I could guide you guys in a positive way by teaching you guys the mistakes that I have made so that you guys don't make the same mistakes. So if this sounds like it's something that aligns with you and what you want for yourself, then go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Support it by liking this video. That helps me a lot with the algorithm. And once again, of course, older ladies and men are welcome. I want you guys to share your experiences as well, because we can, of course, all learn from each other. And at the end of the day, this is the growth space. So in today's video, I want to talk about toxic friendship circles and the importance of being selective and careful with the people that you choose to surround yourself with. I don't think I noticed this as much when I was younger, but the people that you surround yourself with can definitely have a negative impact on you, your life, your goals, and we'll be going into the different ways that these circles can impact you. And hopefully, if we have time towards the end of the video, we can go through some tips or some things to take into consideration when making new friends, or even when it comes to the current friends that you have right now, that will help you weed out the people who will not be beneficial to you in the long run. So let's go ahead and get into that. So I've personally always been a person who have had friends, and I always got along with other people in every chapter of my life. I can definitely say that this is the first time in my life that I've had a very small circle of friends, but through elementary, high school, and even post-secondary education, I've always had a large group of friends. And when I started to do my shadow work, I started to ask myself key questions. And one of those key questions was why? Why was I friends with certain people? And this is a really, really important question. So after I asked myself this question, I started analyzing every chapter of my life when I had friends. So pre-K and elementary, high school and college, and the reason behind my friendships at every stage. In elementary, I could say that it was very innocent. I wouldn't say that there was really like a motive or a reason behind people being friends in pre-K. Everybody is just a child with a bunch of energy, and all we want to do is play. It doesn't matter who we play with. It doesn't matter what we play. We just want to get that energy out. So in elementary, I wouldn't really say that there was much of a reasoning behind our friendship, other than the fact that we all went to the same school. We were all spending a lot of time together anyway. So we figured we might as well just get along, and we just made it work. Now, when you're stepping into high school, this is now a whole new reality. Science actually calls this stage, so this teenage stage in your life, social reorientation, because now you're stepping into this new chapter where the child in you is kind of dying. So that attachment that you have to mommy and daddy dies out. And now you're in that chapter where you're spending a lot more time with your friends than you are with your parents. This is why parents kind of get a little bit worried when their kids are going into high school, not only because they know that their kids are growing up, but because they know that this is the phase where friends become a very, very important thing to you. And as we all know, friends can have a very, very great influence on you. So now that you're in high school, everybody is going through puberty. There's all these changes going on in our body. And this is also when attraction and a deeper focus on the opposite sex starts to happen. And this is when things start to get a little bit more shallow than they were in elementary. So you have more cliques that start to form, which aren't necessarily a bad thing. But as opposed to elementary school, when everyone was just a kid and no one really was focused on looks or the more superficial and shallow things, there seems to be a little bit more of a reason why people tend to be friends in high school. It's not as innocent. So it could just be as simple as you developing a friendship with somebody who is in your class. You know, they're just cool, so you guys just end up being cool. It could be that you guys are on the same sports team, so you automatically become friends, or you automatically become cool with your teammates. But for girls specifically, what I noticed is that the good-looking girls only wanted to hang out with each other. And now that I can look back at it, and now if I'm being really real with myself, when I ask myself why, well, it's because we attracted attention collectively, a lot more attention than we did individually, right? If we can attract attention from boys individually, imagine what happens when you bunch us all up together. And this is where these shallow friendships start to happen, because you guys aren't really friends because you guys have much in common. The only thing you guys have in common is that you guys are pretty and you guys just like the attention that you attract. I know I'm not the only one who feels this. I know I'm not the only one who has been through this. And I'm not saying that, the girls who have been through this are bad people or anything. It's just that we were friends for shallow reasons. It's true. And this actually followed me post-secondary. So after high school, there were only 2 people that I really took with me from high school. But the massive group of girls that I was cool with immediately dissolved as soon as we graduated. And that was my proof that these weren't actually real friendships to begin with. We were all just filling a void and serving a purpose. And once that purpose was done, once that void was filled and we were no longer useful to each other, those friendships automatically dissolved. Now, after high school, I became friends with a large group of women. We were like 15 of us at times when we would all bunch up together. When everyone would come out, we would be like 15, 20 good-looking girls deep, and we rolled deep wherever we went. Even if it wasn't all of us, we were always a group of 3, 4, 5 plus. I don't even remember how I became friends with these women, but one thing that I noticed was a pattern that followed me from high school once again. I ended up being friends with a bunch of girls that were very, very attractive women. And although we did get along, the reason behind our friendship is now very clear. We were the fun girls. We were the girls that looked good and partied together, and we made it known. Snapchat, Instagram, everywhere, and we got a lot of male attention for it. People wanted to hang out with us. Men were all up in our DMs. It was fun, but looking back, it was fake, and it affected me in many, many different ways. So the key word here is fun, and this is one of the things that you have to be careful with. When you make yourself the fun girl, the girl who's always dressed up in sexy clothing and who's being liberated and who's out and partying and getting drunk all the time, this is what you're going to be seen as by other people, especially men. Even if you choose to change, even if you get serious, because you've made yourself known as the fun girl, men will often look at you as fun, as a good time rather than a serious partner. Even after my ex, when I spoke to guys and they actually got to know the real me, they actually got to have a real conversation with me as opposed to just seeing me on social media, they were confused about me because who I portrayed myself as didn't actually match up who I was, my real interests, my plans, my likes, my dislikes, right? So be mindful of how you present yourself in the world, because you're going to be seen as just that. The second way that friends may affect you is that they pull you away from who you truly are. And I'm not saying that this is how it is all the time. If you are a headstrong person and you are not somebody who's easy to influence, then this may not apply to you. So because of your fear of being lonely, sometimes we get dragged into doing things that we don't actually want to do, things that we don't actually enjoy. And while you're doing it, your gut can sometimes be telling you straight up that this is not it, that this is not fun, you shouldn't be here. But because you don't want to be boring, because you don't want to be a party pooper, you stick around and force yourself to do things that you don't actually like. So this can pull you away from your real purpose. And if you don't put a stop to it, you will find yourself looking back at your actions with a lot of resent, with a lot of anger, with a lot of embarrassment sometimes. Oh my gosh, sometimes I look back at some things that I've done, that I've said, some things that I've posted, and I just think to myself, what the hell was I doing? And you do not want to be in that position. Another way that your friendship circle can affect you is in terms of your reputation. And this is aside from the fun girl stuff. One thing that I did notice now looking back at my friendships is that I realized I didn't have a clue who any of them really truly were. I thought we were friends, but in reality, we were only just people to have fun with. We all just had fun with each other, but I realized that a lot of people who were outside of our friendship circle, who weren't even as tight with these girls as I was, they were telling me things I had no idea about. And a lot of them are doing a lot of shady shit. So that shady shit kind of stained my name and my reputation because, well, it made other people assume that I was on the same shady shit, even though I had no clue what was going on. So you really have to be careful, once again, with who you surround yourself with, because if you want to develop anything, real connections with people in the future, once again, whether that's romantic or whether it's friendships with people of quality, you don't want to be out here unintentionally staining your name whole time you're innocent. All right, so this video is already a little bit too lengthy, so I'm going to keep this portion of the conversation for our next video. So if you're interested in knowing how to weed these people out of your life, whether it be in your current friend circle that you already have, or whether it be when you're meeting new people, then go ahead and click on the link right above here that you guys see. But before you do that, do not forget to like this video and drop a comment. It really lets YouTube know that you guys enjoy this content, and you guys will be recommended more content like this that is going to help you guys grow and become better people, not only from myself, but other content creators who make similar content as well. So go ahead and do that, and I will see you guys in the next video.